I'm Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. Um, you can find me on Instagram at Miss Bonita. That's Miss Bonita Boniiitaa. So three I's, four E's, Miss Bonita. And then my TikTok is a little bit more complicated. I'll put that in the description. I really wanted to talk to you guys about depression. And I know that's not necessarily a fun topic, but I just felt like it was so necessary. I know a lot of people struggle with depression. I know a lot of people have just a hard time talking about their mental period. And I think that to help each other out of our ruts, we need people to be really honest about like what we experience and what we go through. I am moving the camera back because I feel like I'm used to giving y'all a little bit. There we go. I like that better. I said it to say, a lot of us go through a lot of mental changes that we don't feel comfortable talking about. And I just felt really moved to talk to you guys about depression and like our mental health and where we are and how we feel. So with that being said, I'm going to dive right in. So, sometimes people don't want to talk about being in their dark spaces. And I know it's not comfortable. And a lot of times, if you're in a really dark space, you don't even want the people around you to know how dark that space has gotten for you. But a lot of times, we do ourselves a disservice by not sharing because there's probably a lot more people that are willing to help you, offer a resource, or like give you some support. With that being said, though, I'm not judging for not speaking out. I feel like whenever I was in my darkest place, I didn't really tell people how I was feeling. Excuse me, guys. We know the routine. Every time I record, this happens. So embarrassing, but we're going to keep going because I'm doing God's work. That's what he asked me to do. We're going to jump into it. So anyways, I said that to say, what I will talk about is how we can combat those feelings and what we can do, like what is in our power to move forward and get in a better place. I'm not going to just say you can pray everything away, but God is a big part of everything. Whatever you're going through, I'm always going to say petition to God about it, write it down, be specific with God about what you're going through, what you need, what you're looking forward to, and what you want to be freed from. Because God wants to hear from us, right? I'm going to always say that. That's going to always be my biggest thing. Next, to get ourselves out of these ruts and difficult feelings, we have to build routines. I know a lot of times we're going through life without being intentional, and I'm always going to talk about us being intentional because the things we do make up for the life that we have, make up for the feelings that we have and the experiences that we have and the circumstances that we are in. So with that being said, I think routines play a big part. So for me, writing my prayers became a big part of my routine that really changed my life. Also, getting up and working out. You need to move your body. Like a lot of times we don't understand how sedentary lifestyles contribute to us being depressed. You also need to go outside. You need to get natural sunlight. You need some vitamin D. Most of us are vitamin D deficient. Specifically, a lot of black people, more specifically, a lot of black women are vitamin D deficient. We have to go outside and we have to get real sunlight and expose ourselves to actual vitamin D. And also, if you feel like you're in a place where it's dark, meaning physically dark outside, like maybe Seattle or something where it rains a lot, not just going outside and getting in the sun, get you some vitamins. Like we really have to be intentional about our health and our mental health. Not just our physical health, but our mental health. And honestly, I feel like our mental and physical go hand in hand because it's holistic. It's a part of the whole vessel, right? I said it to say, get you some vitamins. Outside of just getting you vitamins, like your hormones. So we have to be on top of our health in every way. Meaning when you go get lab work done, not just STI checkups, everybody should be getting their STI checkups as frequently as you would like, but also if frequent as you would like is not frequent enough, meaning the minimum, it's like minimum to maximum is every 3 to 6 months, right? But when you get lab work done, you really need to be seeing where you are on that spectrum, meaning do you have a hormone imbalance? Some people have hormone imbalances and they don't even realize it. That does contribute to your mental health, especially for women. I'm going to speak specifically to women for a moment. This video is open to everyone, but I just want to get specific with women for a moment. We work on a 28-day cycle, and 28 is general because a lot of women's cycles varies. We all know that there's different disorders and experiences that change, women's cycles. But with that being said, if you pay attention, most of the time around your menstrual cycle, you don't feel your best. Honestly, a lot of women's mental health declined. Once I found out that there were more women that have suicidal thoughts on their cycles, it really put things into perspective for me. Like, more people should be talking to us about that. More people should be trying to see how we're doing during that time. It shouldn't just be, oh, she on her period, that's why she acting like that. Or she on her period, that's why she being a bitch. Because we're being judged for things that we can't even control. And they say women are emotional, and honestly, that's up for debate. But I will say this, even if it was true that we're just emotional, like we're the most emotional out of both genders, I will say this, we have a reason to be. Like, we're on a fluctuating cycle that fluctuates our hormones and what's going on in our body. So it's really important for us to go to the actual doctors, get your primary care if you don't have one, and get you some labs drawn to see where you fall and see if you do have a hormone imbalance, because that can contribute to bad mental health. That can contribute to negative thoughts. That can contribute to ideas of hopelessness and feeling empty and not wanting to be here. Okay, so I really want all of us to get on top of our health and be proactive in our mental health journey. And with that being said, if you're in a space where you feel like it's super dark, there are mental health hotlines, there's the suicide hotline, like all the important things that you need to know. I am checking my phone. I'm so sorry, guys. I think my friend made it home. I'm just going to text her back. Sorry. Because I suck at editing right now, so like I just be trying to record straight through. Anyways, yeah, like there are resources out here, and I want all of us to want to get help. I want all of us to want to get better. And I want to speak to anyone who feels like they're in a hopeless place. It's not hopeless, and this is not the end. This is not the highest space that you will be in, and you will not always feel like this. But you have to turn to God, your higher power, ask Him for the strength to get through, and just put one foot in front of the other each day and try. I know that probably sounds like, yeah, whatever, but I'm telling you, I know how dark it gets. Like, I know sometimes you feel like you don't have any support. I know sometimes they feel like nobody understands. I know sometimes you feel like, what can I do? Like, you just get in the space where it's like, I told one of my friends, sometimes it gets so dark. You know how people talk about rose-colored lenses? It's like opaque lenses, blackout, and you living life on autopilot, and nobody really understands what you're going through. But I'm here to tell you that you are not alone. And this is not going to be a space where we wallow in how we're feeling. This is going to be a space where we get out and we go seek healing and help. A lot of us need therapy. I am an advocate for therapy. I have not started therapy. I'm completely transparent on this channel. I want all of us to be transparent. Like I keep saying, I want us to really build a safe, positive community. So I haven't started therapy, but I've had a lot of people in my life that have, and it really makes me want to, because I feel like we all need to talk to someone. And like talking to your friends is cool, but your friends are not responsible for your mental load. And also sometimes that can be a lot for your friends. Like even if they're lending an ear or a shoulder to you, sometimes that's a lot on them. We don't always check in to see what someone else's mental is like and if they can handle what we're bringing to them. But when you go to therapy, that's that person's job. Like they're here to show up for you, and they're here to see how you're doing mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and what you can do to move forward and heal, the different things going on with you. So I'm definitely an advocate for therapy. I'm an advocate for journaling. Journaling is so important because I tell people all the time that I write my prayers, but honestly, it's like interchangeable with journaling, because when I talk to God, I'm talking to Him about everything. Like I'm just putting everything on the table. I'm venting, I'm expressing, and that's kind of journaling at the same time too. And honestly, it changed my life. I tell everybody that, I'm going to keep saying it. I started writing my prayers in 2017 and it completely changed my life. I was specific with God. I was really laying everything on the table, and it became a habit. It's such a good release. We don't realize that we are holding on to things all the time. Anything that you don't let outside of your head still exists in your head and your heart, and you have to release it. And some things we don't even feel comfortable speaking to any person, no matter who you trust the most in this life. It doesn't mean that you don't love them, and it doesn't mean that you feel like they would even judge you for not telling them. Sometimes we have our reasons for not telling people the things that we're going through. I feel like a lot of times, speaking from experience, when things get really dark, you don't even want to tell people around you because you don't want them worrying about you. And then also, you never want them to get that close to that feeling because it feels that bad. So with that being said, if you feel like no one in your life can handle the feelings that you're going through, God definitely can. God definitely wants to hear you. God definitely wants to heal you. And it definitely gets better. Like, this is not it. This is not it. This is not the end. There is so much more for you to look forward to. There's so much more for you to have. There's so much more for you to accomplish in life. God just wants you to see that. Take a moment and really sit with where you are. And I know that's hard, because when the feelings are low, they're low. But sit with where you are and really see where you want to go from here. If you could see a speck of light, just a speck in that dark space, that tells you that God is present. God is present, and you can go towards him. Like, he wants community with you. He wants fellowship with you. He wants you to seek his face. I'm always going to say that. I'm a big advocate for that. I want all of us to get out of those spaces that we think we can't leave, because we can. You know, we definitely can. Do not give the enemy glory by sitting in those feelings, okay? And I'm not saying that to blame anyone for their mental health. I know things just happen. A lot of times we're just going through life. We don't even realize how we end up in those spaces. But once you do realize you're in that space, it's your responsibility to acknowledge it and seek healing from there. And I really do think routines play a big part. And when I say routines, like for me, my nighttime and morning routine are healing for me. Like, you know, at night, I obviously have makeup on today, but most days I don't wear makeup. So like, you know, my bathing, like I'll take a bath or whatever. I double cleanse in the tub, double cleanse my face. I get out, I oil my scalp, I oil my eyebrows, I exfoliate, cleanse my face or whatever. I might exfoliate my lips. What else do I do? I brush my teeth. I oil pull, brush my teeth, floss, you know, put Aquaphor or Vaseline on my face. Like, I have a whole nighttime routine. And I know it's like, what does that have to do with this? I'm telling you guys, having a routine can save your life. Sometimes you just have to do the things to keep going. Somebody needed to hear that. Sometimes you have to just do the things to keep going, and it's not to just say you on autopilot, because I don't mean in that way. Sometimes you got to even enjoy the process. Like, maybe you don't always enjoy flossing every night, but sometimes you just got to thank God that you have the strength and the mobility and the hand-eye coordination to get in between those teeth, right? Like, sometimes it's bigger than what you think. And you got to thank God for the little things, because the little things make up for the big things. And honestly, being in sound mind, body, and full range of motion is not a little thing. Like, the nurse in me wants you to know it's not a little thing. There's a lot of people that are praying or wishing that they had that ability, or they had it before and they lost it. So you always got to thank God for where you are. So again, I think routines are very important. Find your routine. If you don't have a routine, build a routine. Build a daytime routine. Build a nighttime routine. Find what's therapeutic for you. Like, I love bubble baths. When I'm really feeling like I'm out of control in life, I like to go sit outside in the elements, either in the sun or at night. But I also love bubble baths. Bubble baths help me feel relaxed. They help me feel pampered. They help me feel calm. I love being in water. I'm a Pisces. I love water, period. But find the things that make you feel good, right? And they don't have to cost anything. You have to remember that. They don't have to cost anything. But just make you feel good, give you comfort, and include those things in your daily regimen. And look forward to it. Because I want to tell anyone out there, no matter where you are in your journey, if you haven't realized it yet, happiness is a choice. happiness is a choice. I don't necessarily feel like joy is a choice. I think joy is a gift from God, right? But happiness is a choice. You practice being happy because we choose how we feel. We choose how long we sit with things that disappoint us or make us sad. We choose how long we are angry. We choose how long we're holding on to something. Excuse me, like that is so, like, in my defense this time, I did eat before this, but it's whatever. Like, it's whatever. If you're here, like, it's whatever. I said that to say though, yeah, it's a choice. Like, you're choosing how long you're holding on to stuff. You're choosing how long you're being bitter. You're choosing how long you don't forgive people. You're choosing how long you're gonna be mad. You're choosing how long you're gonna be sad. You're choosing how long you're gonna wallow. And realistically, once you start being intentional with God about what you want and where you want to be and feeling happy, you will get there. I recently started feeling like, wow, I'm like really at peace. Like, I am happy with my life. And I felt like for a long time, it was hard for me to say that. For many different reasons, and probably because I wasn't allowing myself. Sometimes we'll be so stuck on the next thing that we're trying to accomplish that we don't allow ourselves to find joy, peace, comfort in where we are. Again, I don't think joy is necessarily a choice. I think joy is a gift from God, but sometimes God is offering us the gift and we're not opening up to receive it. Somebody else needed to hear that too. But I say that to say, once I started accomplishing different goals and I was leaving different spaces so quickly, I was wondering why I still in my spirit didn't resonate with where I was as far as being happy. And it really came to a point where I was like, damn, you was trying to do all this shit without God. And I never felt like I was, because I've always consistently prayed. Even if it wasn't every single day, I always talk to God. But it's levels to the community and the relationship that you build with God. And it's levels to the things that we do in life that we try to exclude God out of. And it may not even be intentional, because I feel like a lot of times we're not intentionally trying to exclude God. But a lot of times we're trying to just get on to the next thing. We're trying to get on to the next goal. We're trying to, move from one point A to point B. And God is really wanting you to know that moving from point A to point B without him is not worth it, because you won't find peace in that. Okay? Pause the video if you need to pause the video. I'm always going to say that. But you won't find peace in anything that you're excluding God out of. Get into it. Really, really sit with that. Again, happiness is a choice. So you have to choose to smile. Sometimes you want to frown. Sometimes you want to boot up. Sometimes you want to have an attitude. But you can't. Because happiness is a consistent practice, and it doesn't happen overnight, especially if you haven't been consistently practicing already. You have to teach yourself these things. And sometimes there's no family to teach you how to do this thing. You have to be the one to do it. And so if you have to be the one to do it, you have to be receptive to doing things that make you uncomfortable. You have to exit your comfort zone. Sometimes you've been comfortable being mad, sad, hurt, resentful in your comfort zone, and that's why you aren't happy. And I know happiness and depression aren't even always on the same thing, just because like sometimes people might look at it as opposite, but I know as a healthcare person that it's not necessarily opposite. But what I want you to know is that a lot of times we make decisions that contribute to us going into a dark place, and we don't see ourselves sinking decision by decision by decision. A lot of times there's a lot of things that we could have did to put ourselves in a better position. And a lot of times there's a lot of decisions that we could have made to make ourselves feel better, period. Now, with that being said, I also feel like at a professional level, some people do need medicine. I'm always going to go for the non-pharmacologic intervention first. But sometimes some people really do need medicine, and that's okay. We're going to lose the stigma with that. I just want us to get in a space where we can feel comfortable enjoying and embracing our lives and, not being so Eeyore. You know what I mean? Again, it's not putting a stigma on depression. I'm trying to take the stigma away. I want all of us to be open and just talk about our experiences, because there's a lot of people that are going through things and they don't want to talk about it. There's a lot of people that get up and they don't feel like doing the things. You don't want to shower. You don't want to brush your teeth. You don't want to comb your hair. You don't want to get dressed. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think rituals are important, because when you practice your rituals, it does become habit. And even when you get into those dark spaces, sometimes you might muster up enough energy to do the rituals. And sometimes you might feel a little joy and be able to pat yourself on the back for the fact that you were able to do that. And I want us to get in that space, because I know it's not easy. Leaving the dark space is never easy. It wasn't easy getting there. We just didn't realize how fast we sunk, one decision at a time, one experience at a time, you know, one sad or mad or resentful dark episode at a time, one trauma at a time. But I really want us to dig ourselves out of that space. If you know you need professional help, seek it. Get therapy. Ask about medicine. When a doctor asks you, are you having feelings of sadness, hopelessness, emptiness, thoughts of harming yourself, harming others? I know a lot of us are afraid of like getting the grippy socks, going to, you know, being locked up in a mental ward. But, you know, a lot of times it'll do you more good being honest and being transparent with your healthcare people so that you can get the help that you need, because there are resources out there and there's help that is accessible to you, and I want all of us to get it. And again, there's the suicide hotline. I guess I should find those numbers to include, because I really want us to get the help that we need, and I want all of us who are feeling in the worst ways to be healed. You know what I'm saying? I want the best for all of us. And I'm just here to say, from my perspective, what I've seen and what I think works and what I think can help. So again, I wanted us to talk about depression. If there's any more things that y'all feel like that I should include, or any questions that y'all have, or more that I should say, let me know. I'm open to it. I really want us to get down to the nitty gritty. I want us to really be honest, and I want us to be transparent on our journeys, and I want us to help each other. This is going to be a safe space, no judgment. So again, like, comment, and subscribe, and check into my video next time.